Okay, so today we are going to discuss some extra questions from this chapter derivatives. So as you can see that question number 1, x is equal to a cos 2 theta, y is equal to a cos sin 2 theta. We want to find double derivative at theta is equal to pi by 6. So first of all, we need to find the single order derivative. So we have found the single order derivative that is coming out to be minus tan theta. After that, you will differentiate both the sides with respect to x. So you will get this expression theta by dx because of that chain rule. Substitute the value and then put theta is equal to pi by 6. After calculation, your final answer will be 32 upon 27a. Just cross check this. After that, question number 2 is x is equal to a 1 plus cos theta, y is equal to a bracket theta plus sin theta. We want to prove that double derivative is equal to minus 1 upon a at theta is equal to 90. So again, the second question is from parametric form. So let us solve it. So when you differentiate this with respect to theta, you will get this as 0 minus sin theta. And here you will get this as dy upon d theta will be a will move outside. Derivative of theta with respect to theta is 1. And this will become cos theta. So that means dy upon dx can be written as dy upon d theta into d theta by dx. Let us substitute the values. So a 1 plus cos theta upon a minus sin theta. This is what we can write. Do further calculations. So when you do further calculations, a and a can be cancelled out and we can apply half angle formula. So 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. By the application of half angle formulas. So after complete calculation, you can check that your answer is coming out to be cot theta by 2. So your first order derivative will be cot theta by minus cot theta by 2. Just check this. Now from here, we will find the double order derivative. So differentiating both sides with respect to x. When you do that, it will be double derivative with respect to x. This can be written as minus cosecant square theta by 2. So minus minus will become plus, then 1 by 2. And after that, you have to write d theta by dx. Because of chain rule, as we are differentiating with respect to x, so that is why we will write this as minus cosecant square theta by 2, 1 by 2, and then theta with respect to x will be d theta by dx. Now let us put the value of d theta by dx from here. When we put the value, this will become value is a sin theta, the negative sign. Now you will put this movement. So here, when you put double derivative at theta is equal to pi by 2, it will become cosecant square 45. So it will become cosecant square pi by 4 whole upon minus 2a sin 90 sin 90. So when you put the values, it will be 2 upon minus 2a into 1. So this will become minus 1 upon a. Finally, your answer will be minus 1 upon a. This is what we need to prove also. So this is how we can do this question number. Let's write down this. Okay, next you can write down this third question. Already you know that y1 and y2 are the notation for second order derivative and first order derivative respectively. Y2 stands for double order derivative and y1 stands for single order derivative. We already know that y2 stands for double order derivative and y1 stands for single order derivative. Okay, now here this is given to us. So we will start the question from here. So you can write log y is equal to tan inverse x. So differentiate both sides with respect to x. So when you differentiate both the sides with respect to x, it will become 1 upon y, dy upon dx is equal to, now you will write the derivative of tan inverse x. So it will be 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now let us cross multiply the terms. So when you cross multiply the terms, we get this as 1 plus x square dy upon dx is equal to y. This is by cross multiplication. Now you will write differentiating both the sides with respect to x. So let us take the double order derivative. We will write differentiate both sides with respect to x. So when you differentiate both the sides with respect to x, you get this as 1 plus x square. So here we need to apply product rule because it is product of two functions. So I had kept this first as it is. Derivative of second will be derivative plus first derivative is simply 2x dy upon dx, that is equal to dy upon dx. So now you can see that we will just shift this term on other side and straight away we are getting the required answer. So finally you are getting this as 1 plus x square y2 plus 2x minus 1 into y1 is equal to 0. Hence, so next we can write down number 4. Y is equal to sine inverse x ka whole square, and we want to prove that 1 minus x square into y2 minus x by 1 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we want to prove this expression. Now y is equal to sine inverse x is given. So let us start by taking single order derivative. Y is equal to sine inverse. So dy upon dx. So using chain rule, when you take the derivative, this is what you will get. This is by the application of chain rule. When you take the derivative, you will write this as 2 sine inverse x, and then derivative of sine inverse x is 1 upon under the root of 1 minus x square. Now, in order to reduce the calculation work, we will cross multiply this term and then we will take the double order derivative. So, first step is we will just cross multiply. So, when you cross multiply, this is what you will get. Now, here you will write differentiating both sides with respect to x. Now, when you differentiate both the sides with respect to x, again you need to apply that product rule. So this is your first function, this one is second function. So derivative First one as it is, derivative of dy upon dx will be double order derivative. Then dy upon dx as it is, derivative of root is 1 upon 2 root 1 minus x square, then derivative of 1 minus x square will be minus 2x. That is equal to 2 upon under the root of 1 minus x square. Now after this, we will do further calculations. So let us take LCM. So when you take LCM over here and cross multiply it, we get this as 1 minus x square into double derivative minus x into single derivative is equals to 2. So you can see that this is nothing but the required equation. So this is how we can do question number. Okay, so after this question number 4, you can write down some more extra questions. Question number 5, 6, 7, 8. Just write down all the questions. Question number 5. Okay, so in question number 5, y is equal to sine inverse x upon under the root of 1 minus x square. So in fifth question, your first step will be to cross multiply. Let us cross multiply this. So this will become y into 1 minus x square sine inverse x. Now you will take the derivative. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. So now you will differentiate both the sides with respect to x. So obviously we need to apply product rule on the left hand side. So this is 1 into 2. So derivative of first function will be dy upon dx. Keep the second one as it is. Then plus first as it is. Derivative of the second will be under the root of 1 upon under the root of 1 minus x square. Then this is minus 2x. That is equal to 1 upon under the root of 1 minus x square. So this is what you will get when you differentiate both the sides with respect to x. After that, we will just take LCM in this. So let us take LCM. So when you take LCM, this can be written as dy upon dx into 1 minus x square minus xy minus x into y is equals to 1. Thus you can cross check this, that when you take LCM, you can rewrite this as minus xy is equal to 1, because on both the sides this under the root of 1 minus x square will cancel out. Now from here let us take the derivative again. So differentiate both sides with respect to x. Now we have to apply product rule over here as well as over here. So this is first into second, and this is also first into second. So derivative of single derivative is double derivative. Write down this as it is. Then plus dy upon dx as it is. Derivative of 1 minus x square is simply minus 2x. Then keep this minus outside. So 1 into y plus x dy upon dx. That is equal to 0. Because derivative of 1 is 0. After this, we need to do further calculations. When you do further calculations, you can write this as, so these two will club with each other, and we can rewrite this as minus 3x into dy upon dx minus y is equal to 0. Now, if you compare with the required expression, then you can see that we had done that. So this is what we need to prove. So here the crucial step is you have to cross multiply at the beginning, because if someone try to do it by that quotient rule, then obviously the calculation part will become very lengthy. So we can do it, but the point is, in order to reduce the calculation, I'm just cross multiplying at the beginning. Cross multiplying, and then we are doing it, and this is how we will get the answer. Okay, now after this, let me discuss question number 6. Okay, so you can write on this, then we will discuss. Number 6. So in question number 6, x is given to be equal to tan 1 upon a log 1. Okay, now the first important step which we have to do is, we will take this tan on other side, so it will become tan inverse x, and a also will take on other side. So this is how we can rewrite the question. Now from here you will start the question. What we had done, we had taken this tan on other side, and a also we had cross multiplied. Now we are getting this. So now you can start, and you can see that in 4 or 5 lines you will get the final answer. Now let's see, differentiate both sides with respect to x. So when you differentiate both the sides with respect to x, this is what you will get. Cross multiply. So ay is equal to 1 plus x square into dy upon dx. Now after this, again differentiate, and straight away you will get the required answer. Just check this. So this will be a dy upon dx is equal to 1 plus x square into double derivative plus 2x into dy upon dx. So you can see that just after rearranging the terms, you will get that required expression. This is how we can do question number 6. Just write down this. Okay, so I hope this question number 6 is clear. Now, after 6, let me just discuss this number 7. So now in number 7, you can see that it is x to the power x, y is equal to x to the power x. So here you need to take log on both the side, and then you will proceed. So in number 7, you have to just apply that logarithmic differentiation and then you can proceed. In number 8, here you will apply that chain rule. First of all, take the derivative of log, then take the derivative of this inner quantity and do calculations, then cross multiply and then take the double order derivative for this number 8. Now next you can write down question number 9. Question number 9 you can write. Okay, so after this you can write down question number 10 also. Okay, so let me discuss question number 9. So in 9th, when you take the dx by dt, it will be a cos t plus b sin t, and dy upon dt will be a minus a sin t plus b cos t. So dy upon dx can be written as this divided by that. So it can be written as a minus a sin t plus b cos t divided by this. So if you analyze one thing, then we can correlate this with x and y. So I can write this as minus x. Numerator can be written as minus x and denominator can be written as y. Now this is very important step. What we had done, we had written this as minus x and this one as y, and then we will apply quotient rule and we will take the double order derivative to prove that expression. Similarly, you can try that question number 10 also.